I get ready to go live and then messages are coming up and I have to deal with them. Otherwise I can't see anything. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Cindy Daychuk here with Queen Bee Creations. Thanks for tuning in. It's been a busy week. So part of what starts making my next 3 weeks super busy is the fact that the fourth week, the 21st to 28th, I think, in July, the shop will be closed. I'll be on vacation, going away to a cottage for a week. So small price to pay since I'm really only ever closed for the 1 week right now. That's it. I have no life but the store. So because of that, though, I still want to have videos out for you, which means usually this week I'm filming 3 videos and editing them. That will be shown on YouTube next week. But if next week was my holiday, then I'm not there filming for the week following. So I end up having to do 6 videos. I need to get 3 extras done ahead. And trust me, it's hard enough coming up with 3 ideas a week, let alone all of a sudden I need extras. So I'm trying to fit in maybe 4 a week for the next 3 weeks. And then that gets me in there. I will give reminders as I get closer, one, to help you with your shopping, but also from the standpoint of this won't be happening when I'm away. So this will be the one exception. I'll still have the videos out for you guys, but this won't be happening. I won't do the live on the Wednesday night because I won't have added anything. I won't have new stuff. Videos this week, announcement wise, I did see that IOD has announced and let everybody, meaning the public, know. I've already made my purchases, so I knew that the summer release is going to be coming soon. I think we're just a couple of weeks out. I don't have a definitive date. I am definitely hoping that it's going to be early in July so that I am not on vacation when the launch happens, but I think that it should happen maybe the 2nd or 3rd week in July, so we should be good. They have said that there's a new product in the mix, so definitely a new product, 2 transfers, two inlays. It's actually 1 inlay, but in 2 colors. I think 4 molds, and I can't remember how many stamps. 3 stamps, maybe? Okay, I'm losing track now. But kind of exciting. I think you guys are going to really like the new product that's coming out. I know that I do. So we'll see what you guys think of it. But it's pretty exciting with that coming out. And I think that definitely it's an item that they'll be doing more of. With the 2 transfers that are coming out, there's going to be 1 in the small size, the 8x12, and 1 in the regular 12x16 size, and there's a new mold size too. So lots of new stuff coming. Hopefully you're going to find something in there that you're going to love, and I will, of course, I've already ordered the product, and I think that it's shipping to Canada, to the distributor in Canada, as it gets shipped out to all of the US based distributors. So we should have it the same time or be pretty darn close. So that's going to be exciting. Watch for that coming. I know that now that the IOD sisters have sent out a newsletter saying that there's a summer release, they'll start dropping some teasers. So keep an eye out for that.
Brenda McGilvery says hello.
Hey, Brenda. Nice to see you here, honey. Videos this week. Monday's video was about this little $2 thrifted tray, and in particular playing with doing the resin over paper. So we've got a really washable, usable surface here, as opposed to decoupaging the paper. It's not going to be as water, I was going to say water soluble, but it's not. Water insoluble, as cleanable a surface, no matter how many coats of a top coat that you put on. This worked great. The only thing that happened was there were sections of the paper where I think there were little crease lines that the resin soaked into. So I don't know if you guys can see some of the little marks here and there that are pretty noticeable. It's like because the resin magnifies everything. So thankfully, I got a great suggestion from a viewer on what they thought I could do to fix that. So I'm going to play with that and possibly do another quick video so you can see how that turns out. But I loved the results of it. I really loved having the resin in the tray, and I think so practical with having drinks and condensation and things like that. So that's a great one. Today's video was playing with watercolor brush pens. Now this was a gift that I got. No, I don't have them there. But they're like a pen filled with watercolor, and each individual color has its own little brush attached on the end. So you're not having to dip your brush into water, then into a new color. You just pick up a different pen, and you've got the brush on the end to be able to do thick and thin lines and that sort of thing. So we played with that for a couple of things. This is one of the projects that we did. There was a card and a tag and that sort of thing that we did in there, but just experimenting with it and seeing how it goes. So I think that, again, if you're new to watercolor and you don't want to have a pen with all the different colors and have to be switching out and using water and stuff in different ways, this is a great way to get started. They were actually a lot of fun and I enjoyed them. Friday's video, so upcoming on Friday, we're going to do something with some bed spindles. So tune in for that one. We're marrying them up, Frankensteining them with another little thrifted find. And I think it turned out super cute. Obviously, I went one direction with a color. You could take it in any direction that worked with your decor, but a super inexpensive, fun little way to be able to use up some spindles in a different way from anything else. Now, I got a couple of big things. You know what? Most things today are fairly large. I don't know why. So I don't have tons of little things, which usually I do. It's just the way it goes. So first up, because I'm going to be putting things into it off to the side, is this super big Mama Jamma. Let me turn it this way so it's into the camera. This big wooden tray. So this is $24, but shipping wise, it's a heavy one. So just know it's got
size too.
Pardon?
Awkward size as well.
And it's going to be a weird size for shipping too. That always bumps it up. It's got big, heavy, almost like rebar handles on it. So big, solid, heavy tray. Really, it's a beautiful natural wood. So definitely good for hauling things in and out of doors for the summer months, but it's also just a beautiful piece if you've got like a big settee that you're using as a coffee table and you use this as your coffee table top. It would be beautiful for that. Lots of room to be able to kind of create a little bit of decor vignette on that, either on the settee, on the it's not really a settee, I'm using the wrong word, but you know, like those big long footstool kind of things.
Ottoman?
It's like an ottoman, but you use them as a coffee table instead, but you put something solid on them. Okay, the word is just escaping me.
So there's a Pinky Ramen says, hi, how's your day going?
Hey, hi Pinky, busy. My days are always busy. So that's first up in the big category. The other big object that I have, which is brand new, is this big kind of hallway or entryway organizer. So you've got like the 3 cubbies, you've got the blackboard here, you've got 3 double hooks on the bottom. I mean, it's still got the chalk in a bag taped on the inside, so it hasn't been used at all. Lovely wood. It's got the clips on the back to hang onto the wall. And this one is $24 as well on the website. So just kind of big. Again, awkward for shipping. Nick, it can just be on the ground in front of here. So awkward for shipping, obviously, but perfect for live if you want to come in and get that one. This too fits into an awkward category for shipping just because of its height. But it's this big, beautiful canister on a pedestal, ceramic lidded. It's got the raised detailing here with that light distressing, and it's $18.
So Primrose Views asked the question about the tray. How old do you reckon the tray is?
You know what? I actually don't think the tray is substantially old. It looks like something that you would get from one of the decor stores now. The wood is in awesome shape. It looks pretty pristine, actually. So, no, I don't think it's old at all. I think it's something that came out of a home decor store pretty recently. So, if you're looking at it being an antique, it's not.
No.
If you were hoping it wasn't an antique, then you're in luck. But it doesn't look old. It looks like it's pretty pristine, actually. So there's no real staining or anything on it. Okay, next up in the big category, we have this handmade, hand signed pottery. Now I said this one is carved. It almost looks like it's got the symbol for pie on it, except it's got really long legs, right? So it's carved out 3 places around the body of this. So this is a vase or a utensil holder or a wine cooler. Really, when we get into something this size, it's perfect for any of those items. And this is kind of glazed in what I would call an oxblood red with some green detailing and then with a little bit of black accenting. So it is lovely and handmade, hand-thrown pottery for $14.
Primrose View says thank you.
Oh, Primrose, you're welcome. I'm not good at being able to see that far, but that's why Nick's off to the side to hold up a hand and say, he's reading questions. All right, this particular vase, this is also hand thrown in Portugal. So it actually even still has its original label on here. So saying that it's made by Norterra in Portugal and that it is a hand thrown in the traditional way on a potera, P-O-T-T-E-R-A. I'm thinking that's a wheel, but it's whatever the old fashioned, potera wheel. And therefore two pieces are identical. So it's got a beautiful kind of blue tone with some black speckles glazing. It's got a number of different tones in there. And it is $16. I mean, you could also probably fit a wine bottle in there if you wanted, or utensils, but I think it's more designed as a vase on that one. Okay, let me move that over. The next big one is this. So covered casserole with a duck. Now this is an otagiri, which is a Japanese maker. Otagiri is kind of prized and fairly collectible in a lot of respects. So it's got its 2 handles. It's got the duck lid. It's used, but in pretty decent shape. Definitely continues to be usable shape. It's got the otagiri stamp on the bottom, so it's all legit. It's got one tiny little split here, which looks less like a crack and more like a manufacturer's split of the pottery as it was curing, as it was being fired. But I did have that mentioned. Oh, and the price was on the inside because I thought that would be easier than flipping it over, which I remembered as I was flipping it over. So $27 for this. And it's kind of a cool, unique piece. Okay, in keeping with big things, we have this big blue pedestal bird. So this has got a faux distressing on it. large bird cut out, just kind of a nice decorative figurine for $13. Okay. Let me get this big bowl. All right, this is such a cool little bowl. So this is, it's got some kind of a maker stamp on it that I wasn't able to track down, but it too is a pottery bowl in the shape of a pear. So I love this. This is just a fun thing for, this time of year, you're looking at maybe like tortilla chips with your salsa or your guacamole. Obviously you could do chips and dip as well. I'm thinking this would also be good for like the egg rolls that we make and having the Asian dip there and that kind of thing. So $12 for this.
Or just fruit, regular fruit, cut up fruit.
Yeah, cut up fruit and your dip if you do fruit with dip. So really versatile piece and just kind of nice, fresh kind of look to that, I think. Just a little bit different than having just a plain bowl with the dip on the side. This just a little galvanized, divided sectional little, what do they call it? Bucket. They just call it a metal bucket. It is $18, but perfect for outdoors, whether you're putting your forks, knives, and spoons in this, whether you're putting some of your condiments in there or different sunscreens in there for the pool, just a kind of a good way of being able to organize that. And then we have this $8.50 for this. Now this is a faux watering can, so it's not a functional watering can. It was designed to be decorative. It's got some raised detailing. You've got the fancy handle here, and just perfect for outdoors, putting a potted plant, having that over the top if you want. $8.50.
Donna 7458 says hi.
Hi, Donna. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for joining me. Okay, this one, last of the big things. Well, okay, except I have a big painting over here. We'll do that last. This guy. So beautiful blue enamel colander. Now, perfect for use as a colander because none of the enamel is chipped. So it is perfectly fine. It's food safe. It's $10. I love using these out in the garden though and putting your pot because of the open holes. It's able to allow drainage. So it's just a fun look, different out in the backyard, the patio for putting a lot of your potted plants and creating some of those little floral vignettes. Perfectly fine to be able to use in the kitchen for the use that it was designed for. Perfect for that. This guy, beautiful old vintage cast iron butterfly bell. So it's got the butterfly at the top, obviously has the cast iron clapper in there still, and solid cast iron. This is a heavy solid piece. And it is $11 for this guy. Just pretty cute. We know that I have a kind of a love on for all things cast iron. So that was a fave of mine. I also love Italian and Portuguese pottery. So this one is made in Portugal. And it is a white glazed redware pottery dish. So your different dishes, dips, your different condiments, just a really nice kind of nice dip dish, and it looks pristine as well. So this is from Val do Sol. All right, so this planter is just stinking cute. I mean, it's got wear, it's got some age, and it is just the cutest thing. So cute little handmade pottery elephant planter. So $8 for this guy. And just, I love the detail. Look at the butt, look at the tail.
Primrose View says,
He makes me laugh.
Love that butterfly bell. How heavy would you say that bell is?
It's cast iron. It's pretty solid. So I don't know. You want to go weigh that, Bill? Nick will weigh it for you. Oh, weigh it. Give me both grams and pounds just in case. He's looking.
700 grams.
So 700 grams, which is 0.7 of a kilogram.
Yeah, and one and
Just slightly over a pound.
yeah, pound and a half probably. Yeah, pound and a half.
Pound and a half. So heavy, solid. So it's a substantial bell. It is a bell and a potential weapon. You know, it's like call people to dinner and you got an intruder.
So Primrose says, love the planter too. I guess the
That planter's cute. He's
and
such a
then
cute
she
little
says,
guy.
thanks, Nick. You're welcome.
All right, this guy. Now this is in pristine shape, and I know that because it's white, it's going to the lights here are going to leach out some of the color, but you've got all this raised detailing and scroll work around it. So whether you want to call it a coffee pot, teapot, I was echoing, coffee pot, teapot, or chocolate pot, this is a Rosenthal coffee pot, teapot, or chocolate pot from Germany. I saw it for as much as 145 euros. I don't know what euros is translated into Canadian money, but 145 euros. On my website, it's $35, but no chips, no cracks, no crazing. It looks pristine. It looks like it just came out of the box. So definitely a deal. Euros are more than Canadian dollars. So even if we said that it was 145 Canadian as opposed to euros, it's a deal.
€1 is equal about $1.50 Canadian.
$1.50 Canadian for a euro.
Yeah.
So then that's add another 50 for
How
the
many-
100. So that's 195, another 20. So it's like adding another $75 onto that.
So 150 euros, is that what you said?
145 euros. Yeah. Okay, crazy. All right. Well,
$212.26.
$212. All right. Well, you know what? Still saying $35. I'm not going to race to change that.
Unless you put it on Etsy or
Well, okay. If it doesn't sell, I'm going to list it on Etsy. The last teapot that I had, which was a blue willow, I had it at a really good price, and it sold before the show even came on last Wednesday to someone in the States. So if you know what you're doing and you love Rosenthal, it's a deal. This is from C&R Pottery. So handcrafted, beautiful little pottery tray. I like the combination of the blue and the green, but I think that you guys can see, that's showing up really well actually, how much detail in terms of texture is on this in design. So $12 for this little tray.
Zena Butler says, hi.
Hey, hi Zena. There's a lot of new names on here. I'm excited, you guys. Thanks for joining me. Okay, this little guy. So this is a resin duck with metal bandings that are riveted so that, you know, the eyes are little rivets, and there's some metal coating on the tail, and stamping saying number 1. And then he opens up. So you've got a little hidden compartment. Well, it's not so hidden because you've got the latch and you can see that there's a compartment in there, but and it says Schatz on the front. So $12 for this guy, and I think he's just super fun. This is the kind of thing that, you know, you could look at as being oh, hi Beth. I could read that. Beth is saying hi, Cindy and Nick. So
Yeah.
she's saying hi to you too.
Yeah,
Hi,
sure.
honey.
That's the Facebook up there.
It was bigger print. I could
Yeah.
see that happening. So just kind of cute. In the old days, things like this, they would actually use as tea caddies, right? I think this is just a cute little trinket. It's nice to, you know, it would fit keys in there, it'd fit earrings in there, it'd fit, you know, buttons if you wanted to have it by your sewing room. I mean, anything like that, it would definitely do. Or just leave it empty and have it out as a decor item. That also works.
Okay, so Primrose Views says it looks like a coffee pot. It depends if holes or if it's one hole for easy of cleaning, ease of cleaning. I guess that's
Yeah. So it is just the one hole, which is why I led with coffee pot. For me, for tea, I have my own little fabric bags that I put the tea leaves into so that they're not loose and I don't need the strainer. So I would personally use it as a teapot. And definitely you could use it as a chocolate pot. So it ends up being personal use. But I agree with you. Usually the taller, thinner items like this are deemed coffee pots, and shorter, squatter. You know, I'm a little teapot, short and stout kind of idea. All right. I have this little, oh, good. That's the one with price tag. I'm going, oh my goodness, there's 4 of them. I'll probably pick up the last one. So a set of 4 little stoneware glazed mugs. I like the little curlicues on the handles. This is $18 for the set of 4. And these also are in new G, don't look like they were ever used shape.
Because there's new people, and maybe you should remind them they can get this on your website.
Yes. So just if you're new, everything that I'm showing you is on the website, queenbeecreationshome.com. And there is a tab that says new this week. And that's where I put all of the stuff that I'm showing you. I switch it out usually over the course of Monday and Tuesday, get rid of last week's, add in this week's. Although anything from last week is obviously, if it hasn't sold, it is under a different collection. I mean, kitchen items are under kitchen, drinkware under drinkware. You get how it works, right?
And then maybe you should talk about shipping as well. You know, the fact that your system calculates the.
Okay. So when you purchase any of the items, obviously there's the pricing that's on there. I try and keep my prices as low as possible, which means I am not embedding shipping in there at all. So I am just basing this off of the lowest price that I can possibly offer it to you based on what did I pay for it. So whether I'm buying it from auction, from estate sales, if I happen to come across something decent, thrifting, that kind of thing. As you can tell, certainly by this guy, I look up pricing on things, but just because this is worth apparently a lot of money,
$200,
like over $200, that's not what my store is about. I don't have prices that are up there like that. I mean, some of the furniture, obviously, but my prices go by what I paid for it, not necessarily by what the market is selling for. I like you guys. I mean, obviously I have to make money so I can pay rent, but I'm not out to gouge anybody. And I don't necessarily want to have things sitting around here for the next 12 years waiting for the perfect buyer. And if it means that you can have really nice and special things at a good price, then I want you to have that. It also then gives you a little bit more flexibility when it comes to shipping, because I don't control shipping at all. I make no money on it. Usually I'm losing money on it because I'm not charging you for boxes and all of the bubble wrap that I have to buy. So, you know, I'm usually eating those costs as well. And sometimes my system, more often than not, is undercharging by $1 or $2. If it's substantially more, then I will reach out and let you know that you have to either make up the difference on shipping or I'll refund, we'll cancel the order and I'll refund the money. And I say that I haven't had to do that often, but there have been some times, either maybe to someplace in the States that's hard to get to, or it's happened with some weird northern places in Canada even that don't have a lot of trucks and things to deliver them to, where my system is maybe charging them $40 shipping and the actual price was like $78. I didn't even make that much money. I can't cover that when I didn't even make that. So there's sometimes where there's weird things, but My system charges based on weight of items. Occasionally that means that something that's really weirdly shaped, that's really oversized and light, baskets being one, end up being a crazy price because they have the handle. The handle is huge, and I have to put it into a really big oversized box. And then regardless of weight, they're charging an arm and a leg. And it doesn't end up being worth it for you unless you really, 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 really love that particular basket or item. It's just not worth the translation. But I'm hoping that by keeping my prices really low, that helps provide some coverage over shipping so that when you look at the total price of it, it's still worth it for you. Really depends upon the item, but we'll see how that goes. Final item that I'm adding, y'all know if you've been following me how much I love it when I can get you some original artwork. So this one's called Tulip Nosegay. The artist is Angie Strauss. This was painted in 1985. It's signed by the artist, and has got a nice. It's from the Geneva Picture Frame Gallery framed this one, but it's just a lovely bouquet. You can tell the skill here with the fact that they painted this with a clear glass vase, and you've got the echo of the leaves and the stems and things through it. I really like the technique. I wish I could paint this way where they're a little bit loose. I end up trying to do loose and I end up starting to go precise. So not so good at this skill, this technique, but I have this for $42. Now, again, obviously shipping something like this means we've got to build specialized boxing and frames around this to try and get the glass to come intact. I really hope never to have to ship something this big with glass personally.
Zena says, in the States, shipping large items over a certain size is then charged based on the size of the box and sends the shipping soaring through the roof.
As soon as you get into oversized boxes or specially sized boxes, even here in Canada, Zena, it's exactly the same. The pricing just goes nuts. So, there's no way to control that. Shipping to the States, I am limited to only shipping with Canada Post. It's the only one that will carry it over the border and hand it off over to the US Postal Service. In Canada, my system does give me the option, doesn't give you guys the option, but it gives me the option to ship via UPS. So for instance, today I filled an order to an individual who had paid for expedited Canada Post. By the time that I packed it all up, because it was a coffee pot and the little cups and the saucers, so I wanted to pack it up well. There was a lot of packaging, so it was a much bigger box and a little bit more weight. So it came in at $9 more than what they were charged when they cashed out, but I was able to ship it UPS for exactly the same price that they had paid. So it was a wash, but they'll get it in the same amount of time as via Canada Post, probably a little bit more dependably with UPS. And certainly UPS is a lot easier to deal with if there happened to be lost packaging or claims. Canada Post is awful. They just never admit that they lost anything usually.
So Primrose Views says, I have friends in America also, but can you ship to Europe on, say, smaller items?
I have not. I have not. My system isn't set up to ship outside of Canada or the US at this stage. I am still working out shipping to the States. Every little thing in the box, I have to look up all of the what are the codes called?
Customs codes. or
Yeah, the
something.
custom codes, tariff codes on everything. So I have not looked into what's required to ship to Europe in any way relative to how the duties work, what the reporting is, and that kind of stuff. So
But you have shipped during COVID, didn't you? Ship to a couple of places like in Europe or
no, that was when we first opened, and I was shipping the IOD stuff anywhere around the world,
Yeah.
and that was hell.
that was all? Yeah.
So it wasn't allowing tracking. I was sending out $400 worth of goods, and people were saying they didn't get it, and I had no way of being able to know. And it was just, so then I pulled back and did just Canada only. I've opened it up to the States right now. I need to get comfortable with exactly how that works and whether or not we can do that affordably. I want people to have things. If there were things that you really, really, really wanted, and I've had a couple of people in Europe contact me because I had something that was part of a set that their grandmother had, and this was like replacement pieces. And so for one-ofs, if there's something really special, let me know, because the system won't let you purchase it. And I can pull it, see what shipping would be, deal with you directly, and then I can have you buy it off the system to pick up from the shop, and then we'll just pay shipping on top of that via PayPal or an e-transfer, whatever works. But so there's a workaround, but I would say I'm dealing right now just on one-ofs here and there rather than opening up the whole system, just because it takes time to figure all that out, and it's just me figuring all that out along with trying to edit and be here and do the other stuff. So yes, I need more hands. I need more brain power. But if there's things that you truly love and you want to be able to see if it would work out, let me know, and send me an address. And so to figure it out, I definitely need to have the name, the address, the phone number. All that information is required just even for me to be able to get a quote. But I can box it up, get you a quote, see if it's worth your time, and we can go from there. So if there's special things, we'll do something special for you. Thanks as always for tuning in, guys. You don't even know how much I appreciate this. It really makes such a difference for small businesses like myself in getting started and off the ground and known. Same thing, like if you're watching on YouTube, liking any of the videos, giving a thumbs up, making a quick comment, all help the algorithm and help me get seen. Help me get seen out there, which again is always a plus and is an asset. So any of those little things, just even you guys watching me, is such a bonus. And it makes me feel like I'm just not talking to myself in dead air. So even better. Although God knows I'm in here all day by myself.
Talking
I'm
to
probably
yourself.
talking to myself. Thanks for tuning in. Look forward to seeing you next week, guys. Check out the videos for this week, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Until then, take care.